Thank you very much. Really nice to be here at the Arches Theatre. Somebody said to me that if you really want to put on weight, you should drink lots and lots of milk. Apparently, this is true, 8 pints of milk a day and you will inflate like the Michelin Man. Ladies and gentlemen, I did it for 2 weeks, or I swear to God, 2 weeks. I count that up, at the end of the first week, that is 56 pints of milk. All right, but by that Sunday, I had others. I was like, I kept going. By the end of the fortnight, that's 150, God knows how many pints of milk. By the end of the week, whenever it looked like rain, I would lie down. Somebody else said, well, you know, pasta is the thing. You should just, you know lots of pasta will help put weight on, that's what Italians do. So one night I ate 2.5 tins of alphabeti spaghetti. And the next morning, whenever I farted, it sounded like I was trying to say something. My girlfriend said, did you fart or did you just ask me where the phone book is? And of course, well, someone said, well, the best thing to do is you must go down to the gym and you must work out. But I can't, I'm far too self-conscious. There's no way I could go down with all the bodybuilders and stuff. You know, I'm far too scared actually that all the muscle men would mock me, shag me and tattoo me. It's just leave that alone. I think I blame my parents for this crappy diet I got when I was growing up. I mean, everything was just out of the chip shops, okay? Now, here in Glasgow, you buy some chips, you'll get salt and vinegar with your chips. If you go to Edinburgh, they'll give you salt and sauce with your chips. If you go as far north as Aberdeen, you get fuck all. Nothing. Right, you've got your chips, they'll get people to serve you out here now. I'm here with that. Oh, come on, man, do I not even get a bag with these? And there is a famous dish in Glasgow which if you want sausage and chips, you get your sausage and chips, but if you don't want a chips, what you ask for is a single sausage. Do you know how many sausages you get with a single sausage? 2. 2. Visitors must come to this town and think they want to watch. Go like, oh, that's a single sausage, is it? Yeah, they're 30 pence. Tell you what, there's 30 pence, just give us a single can of Coke. They got a new guy in my chip shop, and I like to go around and screw his head a little bit. He's only about 17. I go and I say, hey man, could you give me 2 single sausages, but could you half them? And he goes, I said, never mind man, just give me 1 single sausage, but could you wrap it separately? And if you ask for a single fish, you get 1.5. I mean, apparently, and I read this is a true fact. A true fact. It's not a politician, but a true fact, as opposed to what sort of fact? I don't really know. But Scotland is second only to Siberia in the heart disease league. Right? I don't know when the heart disease league plays. It's on a Wednesday night or something. Oh fuck! Right, there we are. See, but I mean, I enjoy a bit of salt with my food, you know, but I always think, well, if I can't be big and tough, at least my arteries can be hard. I say, your arteries, my arteries outside now. And you women folk have got this lovely thing, I was reading about this comfort eating, which is a problem for many women, or indeed a form of solace for many women who find that things have gone badly wrong in your life. You find there's been a big disappointment, there's been a letdown. There seems to be no help, just nothing but bleak times ahead. There seems to be no cure, no help really, apart from one thing, and it's made of chocolate, and it's an eclair the size of a handbag. How are you feeling now, Susan? Fucking lovely. Giving them donuts, will be orgasmic, thank you very much. And men don't really behave that way, you know, we're not really cake-minded that way, you know. I mean, we don't eat cakes, no, we drink beer. And you know what else? We don't even need to be depressed to drink beer. We drink the beer, then we get depressed. That's the way it works. I can't envisage a situation. Hey, listen, man, fancy going up to Stevie's, get a few cakes down us. Not after that session on at Gary's last night. Christ, I was like 2 in the morning, right, with 24 Eccles cakes, right? I've already phoned a taxi. He says to me, do you want to crack open this gâteau? I used to live in the east end of Glasgow in Denniston, and there was a neighbourhood centre just up the road where neighbourhood centre Christian activities used to go on. They would give soup, you know, to people. People would go in there, you know, all the old boys and what have you. And they were having a crusade one week where the worthies, the Christians, and I wouldn't say I hear a word against them, Christians, very, very nice people, do a lot of work for charity. Dreadful dress sense, dreadful, sad, bad slacks. I mean, I don't know what's it's like God said, you shall have eternal happiness, but no sense of style. None, I'm sorry. And they were having a crusade in Denison, which is a tough place to be doing your crusade, and they were handing out leaflets and playing guitars on the corner, kumbaya here, kumbaya there, getting their head kicks in. I'm like, all this puke stealing guitars. And one day, they come round in a car, and they had a megaphone. And I give you this verbatim. The guy just got mixed up. Okay, he was calling with his megaphone out the car, and he went, "Come to the crusade! There will be miracles! There have been miracles all week." Right, check this. He said, "The deaf have seen, the crippled have walked." The deaf have seen. Deaf people walking out of that neighbourhood centre going, "My God, I can see!" Can you? What? And then it was about 9:30 in the morning, something like that, about last Saturday, and there was a knock at the door. So I'm usually up about the crack of 10 to 10, but I'm still in bed, all right? And I go up and open the door, which is the best way, because otherwise you're just shouting at people for ages. I open the door and I'm confronted by two missionaries, two men of God, okay, dressed nice, the haircuts, the teeth, the suits. One of them, generally they come in pairs, and one will be quite urbane together. He's got the pamphlets and the grin. And the other guy, he sits a bit like, just out of jail or something. I found God. Oh, did you? Had he been hiding for long? And the tall one says to me, he said, "Good morning." He said, "I'm sorry to bother you. I hope I haven't caught you at a bad time." I said, No, you caught me at a very good time. I was actually having sex when you knocked the door here. He said, "A fairly pleasant time, thanks." And he said to me, he goes, oh, so you're married?" I said, "Don't be stupid. I wouldn't marry a goat." He's shocked. He said, "Surely you're not serious?" I went, "No, it's only a one-night stand." What is it with these guys who want to come to my door, to convert me to their way of life? I do not go to their door, chat off on a Saturday morning and try to persuade them to become a stand-up comedian or whatever, with a bunch of leaflets in my hands. Hi, sorry to bother you, but did you realise that in Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 3, Hebediah did say unto the throng, this guy walked into a pub with a pang on his head. If there's visitors that I always dreaded getting when I was younger, it was any one of my uncles. Something goes on, I'm sure many of us here are uncles or have uncles. They come in, a guy comes in, he's an uncle, he sees an 8, 9, 10-year-old nephew, and he suddenly, he come over and he'll be sitting reading your comic maybe, and his first thing you get is a bone crusher handshake. Hey, wee fella, put it here. And you're like, oh fuck, how you doing? What sort of handshakes out, the boys don't have Jackie, come on. Or a headlock shit. Get it, hey, wee fella, come here. That's how I've got no hair, uncles. Right, or else maybe sitting reading your comic and they get you in the knee thing. You're on your seat and you get you there. And they've got the cheek when they're waving to say, hey, wee fella, got a pound, don't tell your old boy, see you later. I don't know what's going on. And if people like come and visit your door, they're putting stuff through your door, letters, pamphlets, leaflets, special sample packs, discount brochures, brand new 3-in-1 just open, stuff like that. I am tired of getting this stuff. I didn't ask for it, I don't want it, alright? I mean, so much stuff comes through my letterbox. I can pick all that stuff up in the hall, walk through to the kitchen, dump it in the bin, and by the time I get back, I've got 100 weight more, okay? I wanted to buy some sort of chute, like a flume. It just goes all the way to bin. Or get some engineer, I don't know, to develop a letterbox with a sensor, that can read stuff as it comes in. And if it reads anything that begins with the words, dear householder, shreds it, spits it out, gives an electric shock to the arm of it. Okay, I don't know what you call it. It'd be a fucking excellent. Well, that's what you call it. Call it a fucking excellent. I just got a fucking excellent fitted. Did you? What's it like? Oh, it's fucking excellent. Yeah, and if they put the stuff through your phone or on the phone, hello, sorry to bother you, but we're doing a survey in your area. Would you be interested in a fitted kitchen? No, I'm actually interested in this chicken column I'm trying to get a minute here. If I buy that, I already have an unfitted kitchen. Yes, that's right, yes, it could go to 17 feet by 9. Well, that's right, you can make a fucking huge sausage roll. We want to develop some, you get smart bombs, smart cards. You want to develop a smart, a smart phone that intercepts this stuff before it gets to you, before it rings. All right, so the phone just goes like, yeah, no, I'm sorry, he's having a shag at the moment. I don't think it was speak to you. Would you? Yeah, I don't think so. But of course you can't really lie to these people, do you know what I mean? Whatever you do, whatever measures you take, you could block up the letterbox, you could take a phone off the hook, shut the curtains, they're still trying to sell you their stuff. I'm convinced you could take all these measures and it would still devise a way of getting their stuff through to you to sell. Like smoke, like a machine that pumps smoke just right under your door. You know the way Dracula sometimes comes in? You know when he can't be bothered being a bat? It just comes in, and smoke just comes in into your hall like that and just forms itself up into the shape of a free newspaper. Quick word about free newspapers. Pish. There we are, all right? And so in the future, of course, we're going to have video phones. And you won't be able to lie. You won't be able to say, no, I'm sorry, no, I'm not doing this at work. Because they will see you, all right? If you ever been on the phone, you do this, you're on the phone talking to somebody, and you're actually going like this. Oh, fuck. You get a video phone shooting you from here to here. You'd be, oh, well, I'm sorry, no, but I really, But it's going to be difficult to lie. My flatmate said, well, here's a good idea. What if you got, you could get like blinds, pull down blinds in your hall, so the video phone camera is here, and you got blinds with landscapes. So it looks like you're standing at Westminster. The Rocky Mountains. The moon. Okay, hello, Mr. Morton, hi. Oh, I see you live on the moon. Yes, that's right. We're actually doing a survey in your area. I'm going to move. I've moved umpteen times. I'm going to move again. And, I like moving, I suppose, I do. It keeps you one step ahead of TV licensed people, really. But viewing places, is it not a pain in the arse? You've got to go around and walk around people's houses. A real pain, although it's quite nice because you do get a chance for a right good nosy about on other people's houses. I dare say you've been there, so you walk around and they show you around and you're walking around and eventually you come out going, oh my Christ, we're up to dreadful, I can see the style ferry has not visited them. No, but I think they sold their soul to the feature fireplace ferry. And as a man, when you're going viewing, doing stuff, you're supposed to do man stuff. The woman talks to your woman there, the man takes you, you're supposed to walk around and you got to bang things. Oh, so that's that's all, so that's, what about the, that's, oh. And you're supposed to ask like man questions about rewiring, and grout. Right, I've got no idea, I've got about banging things. Is that, is it hot, is it solid, is it hot? Well, I have no idea. Anne Frank could be living down the back of there. I don't know. Right, you know what I mean? I go, yeah, so what about the grout then? Has it been rewired? I want to see a place which has been done up by a DIY enthusiast. I use the word enthusiast rather than expert because there was a whole lot of enthusiasm on display, right? Very lot of expertise. The man was the hardboard king, okay? By day, an ordinary guy, by night, hardboard man. He used to fly out wearing a boiler suit, big pair of pants, bit of 4x2 under his suit, everything in this man's house which could possibly be boxed in was boxed in, all right? His TV, boxed in. He had an aquarium, slidey door, boxed in. Set of spotlights up here, boxed in, boxed in. I'm walking down the hall, open a little door, his family's in there. It was like walking about in a giant 3D advent calendar. I make no comment because my own DIY skills are very, very limited. Actually one day it took me 4 hours to put up one shelf, all right? And when I looked, I actually nailed it flat against the wall. 4 hours, I couldn't be bothered taking it down. I went out and I bought some really thin ornaments. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll be Bruce Morton, and I'll see you over there. Thanks very much. Thank you.